If you have people in your life whose opinions you usually trust, and who you know really care about you, and they have actually expressed some kind of concern about the relationship you might be having with a specific person, that could well be a red flag. Especially if that group of people whom you trust and whose opinions you value don't tend to say that about all of your friends or all of your partners. It seems to just be this particular one, right? I think that that's something that does need to be taken more seriously, perhaps earlier than we tend to take it seriously in a lot of cases. There are so many cases where you will leave a connection that is unhealthy, or you will be spat out somehow of a connection that is unhealthy, and you will look at it and you will say, wow, that was unhealthy. I see how deeply damaging that may have been for me. And then you will link that to, you know what, my friends were saying for ages that it didn't seem right, or my family member that I really trust and love, who's always got my back, tried to tell me or tried to speak to me, and I shot them down. It's easy to be defensive when somebody's in your life who you care for, you love, you're having maybe an intense connection with them. It's easy to shoot friends and family members down when they try to speak to you about how uncomfortable they feel about the relationship you're in with that person. And especially when a loved one comes to you and they shock you with their opinion and they say, look, I really think your relationship seems to be unhealthy, or you don't seem to be happy, or we're concerned about what's going on here. It can be easy to move straight to defensiveness. And I think even if that is your first response, even if you are immediately reactive, immediately defensive, please don't think that you can't then go back and try to reopen a discussion with those loved ones, those family members, those friends, whatever, and talk to them as and when you feel that you are ready to and capable of it. Sometimes it is difficult to respond with anything except defensiveness, especially when we weren't aware that people around us were worried about our relationship or our friendship or whatever. When you first realise that somebody's looking at a relationship you're having with someone and thinking, this is not good for you, yeah, it can be something where you're like, you can't say that about them, I love them, or I care for them, and you don't understand the whole situation and you don't understand the whole story. But really, you know, if you're connected to people who've really always got your back, you tend to find that they share opinions usually with you that tend to hold weight and hold merit and tend to be helpful for you. If those people start to make rumblings about how they're worried about your relationship, or they're worried about a connection that you're having, try to take that and at least put it in your back pocket, even if you can't fully trust it and agree with it at first. Also, of course, it's really important to say that those same people who first identify that a relationship might not be healthy for you are often the same people that will be there for you during a healing period if you did find that you needed to leave that relationship, or you're feeling very wounded as a result of that relationship at the end. I've spoken to people a lot about red flags in their relationships, like things that they saw during the relationship or things that they saw after the fact that makes sense to them as being red flags. And one thing that I will say that's come up quite a lot is the situation where the person that you're in a relationship with has somehow a dislike of a lot of the other people that you're close to in your life. And they might have certain different reasons for that dislike. They might try and justify that dislike. And it usually ends up in a situation where you either have to choose between spending time with that person who doesn't seem to like the other people in your life, or spending time with the other people in your life, but they've started to really dislike the person. So there's almost this two-way thing going on. Now, obviously, sometimes with a partner or friend, you will find that they don't rub along with one of your loved ones who was already in your life before they came along. You will find that, okay? But I think it becomes a red flag when you see that that person really doesn't like anybody that you're connected to, or they seem to have problems with a lot of the people that are closest to you in your life, and they don't seem to be very comfortable with you spending time with others. That can definitely be something to question and to look into more.